Today we're going to practice finding the surface area and volume of cylinders. The first thing that you always do is you try and figure out what is your radius, diameter, and height. So to the side here, I'm going to write R, D, and H. The height is fairly easy to determine. The height is the up and down value here, which is 4 centimeters. The diameter and radius are a little bit trickier. As you look at my picture, you can see that this line extends all the way across the circle. That tells me that 13 centimeters is my diameter. Now my diameter is twice the radius, so if my diameter is 13, I can work backwards, cut it in half, and that will give me the radius. So my radius is 6.5 centimeters. Remember that when we found the surface area of a cylinder, it's literally adding the two circles plus the rectangle. We learned how to do it in chart form. Underneath the picture here, so that we have space to do it, we're going to put circles and rectangle. Remember that the formula for area of a circle is pi times radius squared. Since a cylinder has two circles, a top and a bottom, we're going to multiply that value times 2. The rectangle is a little bit trickier. Please remember that when we learned how to do this originally, we took a sheet of paper and we rolled it up. When we rolled it up, we discovered that the two edges that touch become the height of the cylinder. So one value of my cylinder, one value of my rectangle is the height of the cylinder. On my picture here, I'm going to draw a little H to remind myself that one value is the height. When you re-roll that sheet of paper up and make a cylinder, if you're trying to figure out what the width is, it's the same thing as the circumference of the circle. If you look at my little post-it note up here, you can see that this is the distance around this is circumference, which is the same as the width of the rectangle. So over here, this is circumference. Now, the formula for circumference that we learned is pi times diameter. So to find the area of the rectangle, it's just pi dh. Pi times diameter times height. That's why you want to find both the radius and the diameter, because you use both values in your formula. Once you have your formulas down, it's very easy to find the surface area. You just insert the information. We always use 3.14 for pi. My radius is 6.5 centimeters. I'm going to square that, and since there's two of them, I'm going to multiply by 2. So if I go to my calculators, 3.14 times 6.5 squared times 2 is 265.33 inches squared, and it's centimeters squared. And it's squared because you square the centimeters here, so you multiply by centimeters 2 times, so it's centimeters squared. The rectangle is 3.14 pi times 13 centimeters, which is your diameter, times 4 centimeters, which is your height. When you insert those pieces of information into the calculator, 3.14 times 13 times 4 is 163.28 centimeters, squared. The final surface area is adding those two values together. So 265.33 plus 163.28 is 428.61 centimeters squared. So that is your total surface area. Some of you preferred the formula method. The formula method takes the two formulas inside our chart and writes them out added together. It's the exact same thing, it just looks different when you write it down. If you prefer the formula method, the formula is surface area equals 2 times pi times radius squared, the area of the circles, plus pi dh, the area of the rectangle. Now, when you're finding the volume of a cylinder, the formula for volume is pi times radius squared times height. It's the formula for area of a circle. Pi times radius squared is the area of a circle times the height of the cylinder. If you insert the information from our problem, we're going to use 3.14 for pi. Remember, our radius is 6.5 centimeters squared. We're going to multiply that times 4 centimeters, which is our height. When you do 3.14 times 6.5 squared times 4, you get 530 0.66 centimeters cubed. Remember, it's centimeters cubed because you're multiplying by 3 different values.